Hey, yo, what up guys, this is Dark Lord Fire. I'm here today to bring to you a brand new video. A Pokemon battle video. I've seen some people do some Pokemon battle videos on the internet lately. I figured me and my best friend, we're going to give it a shot. This video is actually going to be inspired by the tlpc Nation YouTube channel. I'll try and link them in the descriptions real quick, so that way you guys have an idea of what I'm kind of trying to do. But I'm also taking out all the load time so that way I can make this battle as quickly as possible. But first, I want to let you guys know what the rules are. First rule, very basic rule, no legendaries. Legendaries like, say, Palkia, Dialga, Arceus, they're just completely off the table. Obviously, Arcanine is not included. I don't care what anyone says, he's not a legendary, even if in the Pokedex description it says legendary Pokemon. He doesn't count. You can have him in the party, no issues. Alright, he's a good Pokemon, no problems with having him. Our second rule is no duplicates. No duplicate of any Pokemon. So if you did have an Arcanine, you couldn't have like 2 of them, or 3 of them, or an entire party of Arcanine. I mean, that would get very old very quickly. And if you somehow had a Pokemon that could one-hit KO Arcanine, which is pretty likely since his defense and special defense are not great, that you'd basically just one-shot an entire team. Where's the fun in that? So our third rule is no duplicate items. So this one I actually screwed up on in this video. I have a Fortress with a Focus Sash, and I also have a Lucario with a Focus Sash, so I totally screwed up when making this battle video. I didn't realize it until about halfway through, no, about 90% through the battle, like until the very end. But yeah, I screwed up on this one. But my buddy found out about the same time I did. He understood completely. It happens sometimes. Got lots of Pokemon, you're kind of shuffling them around. It happens. So that's about does it for the rules. So now we're going to get into the battle video. I hope you guys enjoy this, and I hope you enjoy what we've done. So, in this first match, I send out Fortress, and my buddy chooses to send out Carnivire. Fortress uses Toxic Spikes, trying to get that toxic damage on him. And Carnivine uses Power Whip. It's not very effective, does only a tiny bit of damage. He chooses to return Carnivire, and he sends out Lucario. I use Stealth Rock in preparation for Lucario, who I know has Focus Sash. But because he was already sent out, it's useless. Lucario uses Blaze Kick. It's super effective and completely takes out Fortress. I send out Swampert. Lucario chooses to use Orosphere. Swampert only has 1/4 of a damage taken. No problem for Swampert. Swampert uses Earthquake. It's going to be super effective and one-hit KOs Lucario. Apparently Lucario didn't have the Focus Sash I thought he had. My buddy sends back out Carnivire, who instantly gets hit with Stealth Rock. And then he has him use Energy Ball, which one-hit KOs and is super effective to Swampert. Swampert is down. I send out my Wolf, which is what I chose to name my Lucario, and Lucario uses Close Combat. It's very effective against Carnivire. Completely takes him out, but my defense falls and my special defense falls. My buddy sends out Abomasnow. Was not expecting this Abomasnow, who instantly gets poisoned and is hit by the Stealth Rock. He got poisoned because of the Toxic Spikes, and because Abomasnow came out in the field, it started to hail. Lucario uses Sword Dance, which sharply increases his attack. which is by 2 stages for all who's following along. Abomasnow uses Blizzard. It's not very effective, but it does more than half my HP. Lucario gets hit by the Hail, and Abomasnow gets hit by the Poison. Lucario uses Close Combat. It's super effective, and finishes off Abomasnow. And of course, Lucario's defense falls, and so does his special defense. Hail continues to fall, which ends up striking Lucario for a little bit more damage. My buddy sends out Gyarados, who instantly gets hit with the Stealth Rock for a decent amount of damage, but he's able to avoid the toxic spikes. But because he is a Gyarados, Intimidate hits my Lucario, but I use Close Combat, and I almost take him out, but not quite. Close Combat caused my defense and special defense to fall. Gyarados used Flamethrower. It's super effective against Lucario, knocking him out of the fight. Hail continues to fall, which hits Gyarados. I send out Aggron. He chooses to use Flamethrower on Aggron. It's a critical hit, but only takes Aggron down to about half HP. Me and my buddy were both shocked by this. Aggron uses Stone Edge, super effective, and takes out Gyarados. Hail continues to fall, hitting Aggron for a fraction of HP. My buddy sends out Swampert, who instantly gets poisoned because of the toxic spikes, and he gets hit by Stealth Rock. Swampert uses Earthquake, it's super effective, and takes out Aggron. Hail continues to fall, hitting Swampert. Swampert also gets hit by Poison. I send out Umbreon, and I use Confuse Ray. Swampert became confused. Swampert then uses Ice Beam, which does only a small fraction of HP. He told me later on he was trying to go for a freeze. He thought the Hail would help him. I'm not sure if it does, but Swampert gets hit by the Hail, and so does Umbreon. Swampert is hit by the Poison as well, and Swampert snapped out of the confusion before it could do anything useful. Swampert uses Earthquake, does a good chunk of HP damage to Umbreon. And Umbreon then uses Payback. It does very little to Swampert. Hail continues to fall, hitting Swampert, doing a little bit more damage, and it hits Umbreon. HP looks to be about the same at this point. Oh, but Swampert gets hit by the Poison. Swampert uses Earthquake again, and I believe that'll take Umbreon out. Yes, Umbreon has been taken out of the fight. So that leaves my Tyranitar versus his Swampert and his Torterra. Who will win? Hail continues to fall, hitting Swampert, and then Poison, which takes out Swampert. So, it's 1-on-1. I send out my Tyranitar, who I lovingly named Dragon God, even though he's not a dragon type, I'm aware. Torterra is instantly hit with that Poison and the Stealth Rock. It does only a minuscule amount of damage, though. My Tyranitar whips up a Sandstorm, and I use Dragon Dance, which causes his attack to rise and his speed to rise. Torterra used Leaf Storm, which is super effective. and does more than half HP, which also caused Torterra's special attack to fall sharply. I have leftovers on Tyranitar, it heals him a little bit, and Sandstorm doesn't affect anyone, but Torterra does get poisoned, and after an Earthquake from my Tyranitar, Torterra is not looking great, but after another Leaf Storm and a critical, looks like my Tyranitar goes down, leaving my buddy to be the victor. I'd say that was a really good match. I'd say that was a good match. But just because my buddy won this round doesn't mean he's going to win the next one. That's right, this is going to be a 2 out of 3 battle. So, who do you guys think is going to win? Who do you guys think is going to win the overall fight? I mean, so far he has the advantage, right? I mean, he already has one on me. Well, I guess there's only one way to find out. So let's see. Who is going to win the next fight? We both send out our Pokemon. I send out Fortress, and he's prepared this time. He sends out Gyarados. Fortress is a Bug Steel type, weak against fire, and Gyarados goes straight for the Flamethrower. It's super effective. It takes out all my HP except for one because of the Focus Sash. Fortress uses Light Screen. Probably not the best move. But, you know, I don't know. I was just trying it out. Gyarados uses Surf, which will instantly take out my Fortress. I gotta say, I was not expecting to only get one move off on Fortress. But, who knows? Maybe it'll all turn around. I go straight for the Tyranitar, whipping up that Sandstorm. I go first with Stone Edge. That's right, I outsped a Gyarados. It's super effective and one-hit KOs Gyarados. Gyarados is down. Sandstorm continues to rage, but of course Tyranitar is immune to it. He sends out Carnivine. Tyranitar goes first with Stone Edge. Oh, almost takes out the Carnivine in one move, but not quite. Carnivine uses Grass Knot. It's super effective, but doesn't do a whole great deal of damage. Sandstorm rages, which takes out Carnivine. And this is why I love Tyranitar. Tyranitar's leftovers heal him a little bit. 2 more heals and he'd be at max HP. He sends out Torterra with Preparation. Okay. I went and used the Crunch, which puts him close to half HP, maybe about 1/3. And it also causes Torterra's defense to fall. Torterra uses Earthquake. It's super effective and takes out my Tyranitar. I send out Swampert. He uses Leaf Storm. It's super effective. Swampert was not a good match. Was not a good Pokemon to use. His special attack sharply falls, but Swampert is dead. So, that's unfortunate. Definitely should have chosen a different Pokemon for that matchup. I send out Umbreon. Torterra uses Giga Drain. Causing him to heal a little bit of his HP, but nothing significant. Umbreon uses Toxic. Torterra is now poisoned. Toxic is different than poison, but I'm sure you guys know that. Looks like Umbreon is buffed by the Sandstorm, and Torterra is hurt by the poison. Torterra uses Earthquake. Does a decent amount of HP on Umbreon. Umbreon uses Confuse Ray, trying to stop those attacks from happening anymore. Sandstorm continues to rage, knocking Umbreon under half HP. Torterra's poison hits him. It's Toxic, my bad. And Torterra is confused and he hurt himself. Umbreon uses Moonlight, trying to heal some of that HP. Sandstorm continues to rage, hits Umbreon. That's okay, he's above half at this point. Torterra gets hit by poison. Ooh, he's definitely going to die next turn, no matter what happens. Confuse Rays didn't work this turn, but he hits me with Earthquake. Umbreon uses Moonlight. About half HP at this point. Sandstorm continues to rage, knocking my HP down a bit. And Poison takes out Torterra. My buddy sends out Lucario. And I swap out Umbreon, because I don't want to get one-hit KO'd. So I send out Aggron. Lucario uses Orosphere. It's super effective. Ooh, one-hit KO's Aggron. Ouch. That one hurt. So I send out my Lucario, hoping that my speed will be higher than his. And sure enough, I use Close Combat. It's super effective, and I take out Lucario. But it causes my defense to fall and my special defense to fall. He sends out Swampert. Lucario uses Close Combat. Ooh, does a massive amount of damage. But also causes my defense and special defense to fall, so I'm basically like ready to be taken out at this point. Earthquake hits, super effective, and that should kill my Lucario, but because I messed up and I used 2 Focus Sashes, my Lucario is still alive. Close Combat takes out Swampert. But my defense and special defense also fall. Things are really heating up. Let's see, it's currently 2-on-2. Hail comes into play with Abomasnow. Abomasnow uses Ice Shard. It's not very effective, but definitely effective enough to use 1 HP of damage, which is all he needed thanks to Focus Sash. Hail continues to fall, but it doesn't affect Abomasnow. And I send out my last Pokemon, Umbreon. Umbreon uses Moonlight. Heal a bit of that HP from earlier. Abomasnow uses Blizzard, knocking me below half HP. Hail continues to fall. Of course, Abomasnow is immune, and Umbreon takes a little buff of damage. Umbreon uses Confuse Ray. Abomasnow became confused. Abomasnow is confused still, but he hurts himself, so that's a plus. Hail continues to fall, causing Umbreon to take a little bit of damage. Abomasnow is still confused, but he hits me with Ice Shard, almost taking me out, but not quite. Umbreon used Moonlight, which does way less than I was expecting it to, I'm pretty sure because of the weather change. And I get hit with that hail. Umbreon uses Toxic. Probably not my best move, but I wanted to rely on that confusion a bit. I was hoping that Confuse would stop the attack, but I was sorely mistaken. Abomasnow uses Blizzard. Hits me. I got a fraction of HP left, but it doesn't really matter, because the turn's over. Hail hits me, and that knocks out my Umbreon. So, yeah, my buddy won both matches, even though I screwed up the rules, he still was the victor. So, yeah, that was pretty much how this fight went down. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I enjoyed making this video. If you like it, make sure to subscribe, and leave any comments you have. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Peace.